this is John mentioned here, bringing another Wargame European Escalation Fatal Error single player walkthrough series. Third mission today, Kessel again. Sorry, not a live commentary. The Cobras, however, are a good choice. These are the regular Cobras, so they've just got the rocket pods, but rocket pods against these kind of unarmored vehicles will do a good job. And what I'm planning to do now is the usual Jäger Swarm that you'd be used to if you're a frequent watcher of this series, as well as some 80 Dragoon Infantry. This should be quite good, as the 80 will finish off any big threats coming and elsewhere. Fortunately, the BMP2s have started firing on the Patons and the 80 Clearly these 80 aren't good enough to take on the BMP2s. Quite an expensive folly there. Don't really actually have anything that can threaten them. It's a bit annoying. Topazes have rushed into town and are engaging the Martyrs in close combat. Not the kind of combat the Martyrs want to be fighting them in. Actually, there's no real situation the Martyrs would want to fight them in. So I'm just bringing in some patterns. The 80 would normally be a threat to the Pans, but because these guys are just driving through towns and around corners and stuff like that, shouldn't be too much of a problem. A lot of the fighting's focused on the centre, as we're about half time here. I still have, I think, 7 out of the 8 zones that I need to hold. But other than that, seems to be going okay. They've gobbled up my supplies there, a bit annoying, but here come the infantry. Hopefully they'll turn things around. I really shouldn't have been spending as much time fighting these guys, because, I mean, they're not really doing anything. Elsewhere, something's popping out of the trees. And they make short work of the Panzergrenadiers. Look at that, a few shots and they're all dead, basically. That was a big concern, because, you know, what... But then you go, BTR-70 Zalos, the tank destroyers. They're also deadly against anything except helicopters. Pretty much slow, bad stabilizer. Actually, not slow, but fast, but a bad stabilizer. So on the move, they're inaccurate, but they hack up punch, I'll tell you that. Elsewhere, the infantry are swarming the town. Quick unload order. They pop out those T-64s, or what? No, not T-64s. The OT, whatever, Topazes. They're dead. And some more patterns there. This should be a fairly competent army. Unfortunately, over here, some recon keeps on the Schultzstrom and T-64Bs. These are the tanks with the 80 The nasty combo. The only weakness with the T-64 is its armor isn't that good. It's, you know, it's decent from the front, but definitely on the sides it's lacking a lot, even the highest versions. The Genowitzes come in and try and snipe some of my transports, but there's a few Jaeger in there sort of help out. Also getting the Martyrs to case down the Genowitzes. The Martyrs are quite fast and they've got that nice autocannon, should do quite well. Elsewhere, manoeuvring the infantry back into that situation. These seem to be the two hotspots, definitely on the left side of the map, so let's keep them defended. And I'm moving the supply trucks that have now refilled the FOBs a long time ago, but I didn't have the time to notice. Elsewhere, the T-64s are pushing up. Now, these are a tank that I really want to get those advanced Cobras, I think you'd call them, you know, the 1Es, I think. Elsewhere, the Martyrs are made short work of by T-80s. Now, as you can see, I am definitely responding to that threat. Further 11 infantry have been brought in, but, you know, those T-80s are a nightmare for me. My aim is pretty much not to beat the T-80s, but just to clean onto that sector by filling it with so much stuff they'll run out of ammo, or not struggle to find them. So I've decided to pick the Leopard 2s. The Cobras are using their rockets to stun. The T-64s and the Leopards can rush in with their powerful cannons. That's the plan, anyway. Looks like their recon's out, so they're blind. 80 will be less useful. Fortunately, now the infantry decided to go for a little stroll in the countryside, right into a pack of 8 or 16 or whatever it is, a million T-34s. And I bring in one pattern. Nope, I decided that one pattern to do with this is stupid, and it's a waste of my time. Bring in some more Panzergrenadiers. Elsewhere, the Leopards have cased away the T-64s and are now engaged in the UAZs. But there's one of those ATM helicopters that's not something you want to see. And more BMP. These are now the 2D version. Slightly better than the BMP, actually probably substantially better. And that looks like 3 T-80s are now in the town. So that town is now firmly under Soviet control. And more T-64Bs are looking in the area. They're now got a substantial force around here. The Leopards are knocked out, the Cobras are knocked out by the Genovitz's AA missiles, the supply trucks are captured. So at this point I'm really starting to panic, so I decided to buy a swarm of these recoilless rifle guns. Hopefully they'll prove their worth, hopefully. I live in hope. Down here these guys have been annihilated. And to the north there's heavy fighting as well as a huge swarm of units. This is where I was really starting to panic here. There's 5 minutes to go. They control about half of the zones. I don't have that much money left, and they have a lot of forces around them. See, I've positioned my forces badly. That's probably why I've lost so many units. There's way too much stuff defending that northern point that was under threat earlier, but isn't anymore. And the sort of reinforcement zone to the right. Too much stuff concentrated here. So I'm buying in some more of these M150 tank destroyers. I don't know. I don't usually like to use the most advanced unit of some type in a campaign just because I know it's probably going to be useful in a later level. Now the recoilless rifles are coming into range. I'm not really sure what I was hoping these guys to do apart from maybe use up all the ATKMs. But they seem to have been doing quite a bad mistake. Elsewhere, I've rushed my ATKM helicopters over to here to give them a bit of firepower and getting whatever supply trucks are left to help them out. Elsewhere, the mob that has been attacked here is moving up to this sort of bridge command zone. This is really, it only has the sort of starting force of Panzer Grenadiers and Mortars. Fortunately, however, the sort of swamps and trees block their sight lines, so it puts me at a bit of an advantage, but there's a lot of heavy fighting around that bridge. Elsewhere here, they've pushed up again. They've got Conquerors, they've got BMP2s, they've got UAZs to get all the recon. As you can see on the feed, all those recoilless rifle units are dead. But here comes the big swarm of infantry I purchased. Hopefully they'll knock through the enemy defences and recapture that zone. Hopefully. Elsewhere here, I'm just relying on buying power to push the Soviets out of here. Just raw strength, lots of patterns. And look, the infantry have made it, and even though they're really getting hammered by the Conquerors and the BMP2s, you know, they've made it in. Elsewhere, the starships I'm relying on their ATGMs to hopefully do something while I do that. Now this is the point, I've run out of Jaggers, so I decided that I've only got 2 minutes and 48 seconds left. It's nearly the end of the game, and there's a lot of zones I don't control. I think, I wasn't even sure if I could hold them that long, so I thought, let's just get the sort of Rangers or the Riflemen that work the Hueys transport. Up to the north, the helicopters are fighting a losing battle. Their stuff sort of infiltrated the centre. This town's still under firm Soviet control, so I'm just buying lots of Hueys. I know they've got some AA, but hopefully I can just outstrip it. Elsewhere, up here, this zone's looking quite bad. There's pretty much no one's left in it. All it needs is one T-80 to come in, and that's it. So again, just buying a lot of infantry. I definitely recommend the sort of airborne infantry for this level, because if there's a situation that you need more people to hold the zone, they can get there fast. As you can see here, the Starship's mob has pushed the enemies out of here, but there's still a lot around the edges. We've got T-80s, we've got T-64s, we've just got a lot of stuff. Elsewhere, up here, there's literally nothing left. There's a mortar with some autocannons engaged, but you know, they're basically up here. Both sides have beaten each other to bloody pulp. There's literally no one left to fight. I tried to position the sort of Mike forces. I told them to go and help them out, but they sort of drove straight at the enemy rather than around. But idiots, but you know, there you go. They're not paid to think. In fact, no one's paid in this game. But yeah, the Martyr 181s use their autocannon to secure this zone. And that FOB down there is surrounded by Soviet units. The T-80s have fortunately not captured that zone. They're sort of driving around it. Some stuff in the wood seems to be hammering the starships, or it could just be the T-80s. But now that the sort of riflemen have dropped there, it's looking a bit better, I guess. Could you say that? Again, just spending my money. Only 37 seconds left. You just have to hold on. Just get the units in the area. Some more T-80s are coming in to hammer that place down there, but that's not bad. These starships were really badly micromanaged. Definitely don't do what I did. The T-55s are shredding them. Up here, there's a few captured supplies, but the riflemen and all that will hold this zone. With only 10 seconds left, it's not looking like a bit of a victory for me. But that's the thing. This could be dealt with in the last second. And with that, top clicks to 0 seconds. Held all the points. Kept at least one command unit. And there you go. Victory for NATO. So let's look at the bonus objectives. I took a reinforcement area and I kept the 4 initial command units alive. Quick 5 points. Keep all conquest points for 15 minutes. I didn't manage to do that. Not really sure if that's possible. I'm sure it is because I managed my units quite badly, because this was the first time I was playing through it. But there you go. Until next time, this has been All Mage, and thank you and goodbye.